Hello, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I am good. I am good. And guys, we're up early. We're in the summer holidays now, so
Yes.
we're up bright and early, aren't we, to get this podcast in?
Yeah,
Um,
5:30 a.m. to
yes, like
dedication.
yes.
Yes.
What a way to start the day.
Indeed.
So we are a week past Tony Robbins, and we wanted to come on for part three of this journey and just share our incredible experience and just a few of the takeaways, a few of the things that are sinking in. And yeah, just we said we'd take you guys with us. And it is so wonderful to share this because it has been a journey of transformation, hasn't it, Kat?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, did we go to a 4-day seminar or did we go to a 4-day rave? Because my body is telling me I went to a 4-day rave because I don't think I've moved my body that much in terms of jumping up and down,
Yeah,
high-fiving, hugging, dancing in such a condensed space of time. Because we're
no.
talking 4 days back to back, probably on average 10-hour days.
I'd say longer. I was thinking longer than that,
Longer, yeah,
because
maybe
it was
12
like,
hours.
it was 8 till 12, wasn't it? A lot for most of the days.
8 a.m. till midnight. Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, yeah.
So
Actually, yeah,
what's
a lot more
that?
than longer than 10.
That's like 8, 9, 10, 11. That's like 14,
14 hours.
14 hours.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, guys, the way, I mean, obviously it's set up to kind of take you past your limits. And
Mm-hmm.
one big thing that I tell myself a lot is, oh, I'm tired.
Mm.
Oh, I'm tired. And that's been a shift this week because I have not caught myself saying that. Like, and I've really, I mean, obviously we get tired. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that I'm now invincible and I'm never tired. But it used to be a bit of an excuse at times where I
Mhm.
was like, oh, I just can't be bothered. Can't be
Yeah.
bothered.
Yeah.
Um, Whereas one of the big things that I think we mentioned in this in part two was this whole raising our standards, wasn't it? And kind of just raising that bar and actually being who we want to be, choosing our level of what we want to operate at. And that's going to look different to us all. And really pressing play on it and keeping up with it. So I've been getting up at 5 a.m. every day. So I'm officially, obviously we were always 5:55, weren't we? But I'm officially a 5 a.m. club
Love that.
member.
Yeah, I love that. And it's about like I love what you said about the I'm tired because yeah, I've definitely found heard myself saying that. And I kind of like just want to kind of express that I don't think that the type of energy that we put in for those 4 days is sustainable
No.
every day because you will burn out, like because we're talking like energy and some. And like you've just said, Charlotte, it is manufactured so that you are, you
Yeah.
think, we're starting at 7:45 this morning. I've finished at midnight and I'm mentally, physically, because mentally, obviously, we're working through a lot as well.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, starting to feel quite exhausted here. And then the music goes, you throw your work back on the floor, you just leap in the air like some gazelle. It's just like on springs. So it is designed to go, right, come on, see how far you can go, like see how much you can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not sustainable. Like
No.
that's not what we're doing every day, guys. But it's just proven to ourselves we can do more than we perhaps think we can do. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
because I'm quite actually reverse to Charlotte. I came back and I was really tired. I was a bit frustrated by that, I'm not gonna lie. So I haven't been getting up as early. In fact, I've
Yeah.
been getting up later than I normally would.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
okay.
but
That
that's
is
yeah, that's
okay.
okay. I'm not berating myself for that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, my shoulders are quite achy because I think I did play. He encouraged you to play full out, and I absolutely did play full
Yeah.
out. Well, we both did, and the other 10,000 people in the room absolutely did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just more on an energy level. Like it's raising that vibration,
Yeah.
and then we can create that energy for ourselves. And this kind
That
of
was it.
rolls, yeah,
Energy creates energy. And I
energy,
think that
yeah,
was the switch, that change of state. It does help. Like if we are going to say, oh, I'm tired,
hmm
that's going to create, oh,
yeah,
and it's not saying like masking over the fact that you're tired and like you say,
no,
reach burnout. But it is saying that, like, because for me, I always held myself back in terms of exercising because I'm like, oh, that's going to exhaust me even more, and I've not really got much in my cup to go at.
Yeah.
But what I have seen is changing that state creates
Yeah.
energy, and that takes me to a better place.
Yeah.
So kind of pushing through that at the times that I know that I can. And I suppose you've got to know yourself that you're not going to burn out, like, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. We all know our own limits, and we don't,
Mm,
it's not push ourselves to make ourselves ill. That's not what we're
yeah.
here for. But I think sort of rolls onto one of my first biggest learnings, or my biggest takeaways from it was, which I wish I knew this, but it just really kind of made it more concrete after these 4 days with Tony,
Mhm.
is that the change in state, so like the physiology, so we can
Yes.
very, you often think like, yes, we do a lot of mindset work and change our thoughts, which is imperative as well, because we'll come on to that, because what I'm about to say is like it's the triad that he explains, isn't it? So there's three things that we can do.
Yeah.
And the first thing is changing our physiology. So
Hmm.
changing our physical state. So if we are feeling a bit meh, or a bit, not in a particularly energized move, it's the shoulders back rather than the shoulders
Yeah.
down forwards and the
Actually was
head
like that
down
then.
looking. Yeah, it's the shoulders back, it's the chest up. It's kind of
Mm,
standing in a more empowered state. It's going out for that walk and just
yeah.
like recharging in that energized way. So that's the kind of first thing that again we just proved to ourselves, like you're starting to not nod off in your chair, but you're starting to lose a bit of concentration because it's a long seminar. And it's like music kicks in, and like, ooh, we're changing our state, we're moving
Yeah.
our bodies, we're yeah, recharging and creating that energy. So I think that
Hmm.
was it was a big takeaway for me, to just concrete that changing the state is something that we have control over.
Yeah.
um, and our physiology is everything, really. Kind of, I think it's just to
Yeah.
take note of, like kind of just become more aware of how we're standing, how we're
Yeah.
moving, and that we can kind of change that in a heartbeat, really.
Definitely. Definitely. And the dancing, that was a big biggie for me.
Yeah, let's unpick this a little bit, because I I'm sure if you listen to the first in this series, guys, you'll know I've been to UPW before. In fact, I've been twice before. So this is my third experience. So by now I'm a full-on dancing, whooping lunatic,
Whooping machine.
whooping machine. But I'm quite free anyway. Like I'll be the first and last on the dance floor, stone cold sober,
Love
and
that.
quite open with just, with moving my body, and I suppose expression in a physical way. But Charlotte, let's talk about this, because I know for you, there's been major, in 4 days, with
Mm,
this in mind, been major growth, major push through comfort zones. And I think you and thousands of people in that room, because on the first day when Tony's on stage, he's like, I love how he's like, yeah, I'm going to get you, you'll be high-fiving each other, you'll be
yeah.
dancing, you're going to be hugging, and you're all going to be, there's going to be some people in the room that are going to be thinking like, what? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awkward. But then he's like, but guys, come day 4, you are going to be grabbing the sweatiest person in the room and
Yeah.
hugging them as much as you can. You are going to be high. You won't even be able to get here without high-fiving the lady in the restaurant at breakfast. Like, you're going
Yeah.
to be high-fiving everyone. You're going to be dancing like it's your last day, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
just, how true is that, Charlotte? Because I know, yeah, you've been on a journey just with that alone, haven't you?
Yeah. Like that was I went into it with the intention to let go because I think
Yes.
I have for the majority of my adult life and even teen life felt awkward with my body, awkward with my stance, felt like I have kept myself small, if I'm honest, like don't take up space. And even that act of putting your hands up in the air and whooping, that's taking up space. And that's something that I've really held back on all of my life and just felt like I look silly. Like I don't move as freely as the person that I'm looking at. Historically, I would have seen you so free and I would have been like, oh, I just want to be like that. Like, and kind of just feel like that wasn't possible for me. And like it's made me not really want to go to concerts because I don't like that environment. Festivals, like not want to go in that space because it just doesn't feel like my, oh, I was going to say comfort zone there.
There
We
you go.
need to push those, don't we?
Yeah.
Um, so I felt really I suppose, quite isolated in that way. Like, you know, that I'm kind of holding myself back and keeping myself in almost. So
Yeah.
I went there with that intention to let go. And it was a strong intention as well. Like, I noticed myself, like, even on the way there, and like just reminding myself of that. I'm here to go all in and I'm not accepting anything less of myself. And I'm really proud to say that I did. And I just wanted to jump the highest I can jump and like scream the loudest I can scream, purely for the fact of just going, it's okay.
Mm.
And like, nobody was looking at me.
No.
Nobody was. Like, everybody was in their zone. And I think this was what was so special for me about that. Like, there was 10,000 people in that room, 2,500 virtually who were up on screens, which was incredible. We could see them as well. And everybody was there to just be more of themselves. And, you know, from 150 different countries, that amazed me. There were people with headphones in that was translating in their ears, like you say, high-fiving, hugging, whooping everybody around you. Each day you were near different people, so you'd meet different people. You'd meet people in the toilet queue, because obviously we queued a lot for toilets, didn't we, with there being 10,000 of us. But I just felt like I freed myself from all that. Like, I've expressed this before. I feel like when I first started this work, I felt like I was almost covered in cords of like limits that I placed on myself, doubts, like things people have said that might not have even been from bad intention, but that I've clung on to. Like, I felt like this, like, this journey has been about clipping these cords bit by bit by bit. And this is where, for me personally, I don't want people to get overwhelmed at the inner work, because that's it. It's a lifetime journey of clipping these cords and feeling that incredible freedom that it creates. And that could look like one thought in a day that you've just gone, hey, that's not even true. You know, like, I'm awkward. Let go of that label now. Like, I know myself, I can let myself go. So, yeah, I've kind of got, oh, there we go.
Yes, and yeah, I'm just listening because just for the record, guys, Charlotte did jump the highest and screamed and cheered the loudest, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful transformation to witness, because I could see you on day one being like, oh, I've got no choice here. I have got to do this. Cat's next to me. Like, there's no hiding. And on day 4, it was like, I'm now just doing this because I am so frigging free.
Yeah.
Like, anything else that was attached or holding you back was significantly stripped off, snipped off, it was gone. And the freedom that you could see was just wonderful. It was wonderful, honestly. And you, and like I say, you and thousands of others in that room.
Yeah.
You could see it. You could see the people on day one thinking, like, we're with a couple that I think their parents may have encouraged them to have gone. And I don't think they were quite too sure what they would what to expect, should we say. And then come day 3, day 4, I spotted them in the crowd, and they were like, this is it. This is it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And that was what was so special, is being in that room of 10,000 people, just letting go and being free. Like, that's all of us want, right? Is to be free and happy and enjoy life. And yet we have these cords that hold us back from that, and it's from so many different things, society things that were, placed upon. I mean, I'm putting it out there. I blooming well hate the media, hate it. That, I think, holds us back in so many ways. It makes us talk about stuff that just does not matter. But also, stories over time, things that we've picked up. Could be a smallest moment at school that we don't even remember, but it's there unconsciously going, keep it in. Keep it in.
Yeah.
And in cutting these cords, that freedom. And I did, I took it one step further. I drove on the way home. I filmed some, this is a bit cheeky, isn't it? But I filmed some just audios on my way home. That's really bad to admit, isn't it? I was concentrating, guys. I was concentrating. But I just wanted to voice what I was feeling in those moments. And I felt like I drove through all weathers on the way home. Like the sun was setting and it was beautiful. Then it kind of clouded over and it was still beautiful. I could see, you know, the colours of the sky. Then I was heading into the darkest storm I've ever seen. And the rain came down and I was not using my phone at the, yeah. But it was hammering. Like I slowed down to like, I think everybody was like 30, 40 miles an hour because it was so intense. And then I got through it and it cleared and it was, you know, it was wet on the roads, then it was dry on the roads, just so many different experiences. And I thought, I just in my head, I was like, that's life. You know, we'll be in
all
the bright,
seasons.
bright sunshine one minute. Then a storm hits us and everything just has to pause a minute or slow down or do that. Then it appears again. And what I did was obviously I was in a beautiful state. And when it cleared, I saw the beauty of what that storm had done. And it had created such beautiful things in the sky, you know, the cloud formations and all of that. And then I was on my local A500. I'd got the Tony Robbins songs on as well that we'd listened to. And I just thought, I'm going to do it. So I wound my windows down and I just woohooed at the top of my lungs out of the car twice. And I was like, because it's doing it in that environment. But then I was like, I don't want to just do it in that environment and then go back to old ways. Like, this is coming with me. And that was a big statement to myself to say, we're at this next level, Charlotte, and there is no going back. Like, you are free and you're not letting go of that freedom. So that was such a just proud moment of mine. And that sounds bonkers, right?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
I
It's
bet people
using
are in
that
the gardens
voice.
like,
What?
who
No, no. I think, and when you shared it with me, you know, once that happened, like I was just like celebrating because that's that freedom, isn't it? That's using the voice and not being afraid to take up space. Like we keep ourselves so small. We put so many limitations on ourselves, which is one big part of the 4 days, actually, wasn't it? Tony got us ridding limiting beliefs. We had to identify our top 3 limiting beliefs. And then we, in his words, our old bullshit beliefs. And then I'm not going to share what we did to get rid of them because it's quite insane, actually. Anyone that's listening that did go to UPW, high five you for what we did. You've got to go and experience it for yourself, guys. But then we created this new better belief. Like we do in the membership, every single Monday in the membership, we just call them something different. Well, we say create a new belief. We call them a think better thought, which is it's all beliefs, it's all stories, it's all the same thing. But it's a choice to step into that and go no. And we identified the limiting belief. We identified what it's done for us, you know, in terms of holding us back currently and in the past, and then how it could prevent us in the future. And then we just let go of it through this process. And then and then we really solidify this new better belief and what that's going to give us, and we focus on the outcome of that. And then it's a matter of rewiring, guys, which Charlotte and I are really passionate about, is rewiring of the brain. And because we tell ourselves something long enough, we'll start to believe it. That hence belief. And that's, you know, it's hard to do the thing, like to go, right, I'm going to keep practicing, but it's not rocket science. And this is why we want to remove the overwhelm of the inner work, because, you know, kind of don't try and do everything at once because overwhelm creeps in. Don't try and completely overhaul all moving parts of your life at once. Just focus on a couple of things and master that and then move on. But it takes practice, it takes commitment, it takes a willingness. But aren't the results just like a million times worth it? They are, aren't they?
Literally. And I think what you've just touched on there, the reality of what it's like to keep that belief was hard, like to to obviously be in that zone, because it's like, yeah, that is going to hold me back, and that is going to mean that I get to my, and this is, sorry, I'm going deep, guys, but
Yeah.
that means that I'm going to get to my deathbed and I will lie there and I will have regret, and I do not want to have regret. I want to live life fully. I want to love fully. And that's another thing, right? I'm going to talk about this, is we both got back from that in such a state of gratitude for all it was. And I want to talk about this because I think positivity is something that people could look at, you know, Tony Robbins, UPW, and just think, oh, that positive
Nonsense.
BS. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to share that Tony outwardly says it's not, I don't actually like positivity, but what I do like is intelligence. And honestly, guys, you only have to look into his story and you will be, if you, you know, if you've ever thought, because I won't lie, I didn't like him in the beginning. I felt like I found him quite hard to listen to. But if you look into his story, where he has gone from and to, how many incredible transformations and people he's helped over time, I'm sorry, but there is no way that you cannot look at that story in awe. Like,
no.
he has
I like
helped people in the moment to work through stuff that they've been sat in therapy for years with. Like, we saw it in that room. Like, I've seen it on his documentary on Netflix. Like, and to see it in person, like, that's real, guys. Like, he is an absolute.
And I just like what you said, sorry, really quickly, like what you said about how at first you were a bit unsure. And just on a general life note, this is why I really encourage people to educate before we judge. Like, educate over judgment, because and you got to be open and willing to educate. Well, actually, how can I possibly judge this guy? I know nothing about him. I'm going to take 10 minutes and get some education on him, and realize that he spent the last 4 decades, the last 40 years doing what he does. He has sort of picked apart what the very successful people do. And I don't mean, I'm not talking financial terms. I mean success in life, in feeling wealthy, in gratitude, in health. And he picks up on patterns, because we all have patterns. It's patterns of behavior, patterns of thoughts, beliefs, habits. So he's very, and I love that, because he kicks off with that on day one, didn't he? He's like, this not some mumbo jumbo, happy positivity, wishful, hopeful thinking. This is intelligent thinking. So, guys, if you want to get in the intelligent club, hi, we're here. Like, you know, it's intelligent thinking. It's what smart people do.
And it's raw, real living. Like, he stood up there and you can see he's been on a journey himself. He's not, you know, he didn't start at day one and having healed himself and then gone and helped others. And I think this is what I want to share with all of you. Like, you know, even with what we're doing this we're on this journey together. And I think that's the shift, whether it looks like coming into our membership or whether it looks like starting your own self-development journey. It is like being in a secret club, because when you know this stuff, you cannot help but do better for yourself. And that's special, because it's going, I'm not willing to hold myself back any longer. I'm excited. My favorite affirmation that helped me back in the day. I'm so excited to see what I'm capable of. Like, our body doesn't know the difference between excitement and anxiousness. Like, it's the same feeling, but it's just how we choose to see it. So I was like, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. And that was a massive shift. That was a first shift of mine. But yeah, so he has had patterns over time, you know, and now, like, to see where he's at, he is living a life of real, raw meaning and giving. And what does he say? Living is giving. And he gives and gives and gives. Obviously, I mean, he's done incredibly well for himself, and, you know, he never has to worry about money again. But that is the byproduct of having given so much over the years. And that's the special part, isn't it? And I mean,
he has actually saved lives. You know, he's helped people that have been suicidal, and he has helped them, you know, come through that. And, you know, like, in terms of charity work, you know, he's fed billions of those that can't afford food, which is incredible. So yeah, giving is it's contribution is one of the top human needs.
Yeah, and from that, his story on that, you know, where he shared a story with us, guys, where he'd experienced that himself in his own family, and you see that passion of feeding people is from such a place of just love and meaning for him, because he'd been there. And that's what this journey is about. It's aligning with our own story. It's not being held victim to it, but it's going, how can I help the world through my story and my values, my belief, but my true beliefs, not those ones that we put on ourselves that are like, not true. And yeah, it was just really special. So I think, yeah, you can just see the amount of work he's done, the amount of research, the amount of, gaining that intelligence, not just think positively and everything will be okay, because there is a fine line. I don't like toxic positivity. And as we've said many times here, we don't wear rose tinted glasses here. Life is a roller coaster. Like, I have gone through this journey through my own worst times, and I've turned them into the best of times. I have, like, like a few years ago, that was either sent to break me or make me, and that was my choice.
Yeah.
And I am so glad that I chose it to make me, because I would be a shell of the person that I am today had I gone the other option. And it was a very fine line of which one I could have gone down. But I had an inkling into this way of thinking.
Yeah.
And this standard and this level of choice that is available to us if we're willing and open to just test and try. And that's not saying that I, did it all in one. It was, again, a journey.
It's all a journey.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like there's a few other bits I want to share.
Yeah.
So where to go next? One really quick thing I want to share is that we played a game of Simon Says. So 10,000 people playing Simon Says. There was a point for this as well. So just prior to playing the game, and we've been educated on something. And one of the things was the first, I think it was like a system we went through. I can't remember how many points are in this system, or strategy, sorry. But I think number one was know your outcome.
Yes.
And we went through the strategy, took in the learnings. He's like, right, okay, we're going to play Simon Says. And he went through the rules. So that's breaking physiology, changing our state, recharging, getting our energy back. Anyway, got to a point where I think 10,000 people in a room, there was about 10 people left, right? And he asked the room, I can't remember, sorry, if he asked the room or if he just asked those 10 people. No, he asked the room, who here in the room set their outcome to win before you started playing this game? Now, bear in mind, we just learned about the importance of setting our outcome. And about 10 people in the room raised their hand. And his point there was that you were not just competing against 10,000 people. You were only competing against 10, because only 10 people set their outcome.
Yeah.
And obviously I won't go into the detail now, but he obviously expressed when we were in the learning part about the importance of setting your outcome and knowing what you want and knowing where you're going, basically. But I just think that really highlighted it in a really great way, wasn't it? It's like we just learned that, and then we all got up and played this game, and only 10 of us out of 10,000 decided that the outcome was going to be to win. So we've got to get clear on that. We're really going to know what we want.
Yeah. Do you know, my thought going into this saying just come to me is, I'll be out on the first go. And what was I?
Hello, limiting belief lady. What have
you
I
was
learned?
Out on the first go, guys.
You were literally.
Because I'm like, I historically, I'm like, I don't. Oh gosh, they're all coming.
Hello.
I'm not the greatest listener, and it takes me a minute to process that. Oh, there we go. Gosh. So a game that's so quick like that, I'm a bit like this.
And this is why it's an ongoing journey, because Charlotte's just found 2 more limiting beliefs she needs to be rid of. That you can't win, and that you're not a very good listener. So come on, got some work to do after this.
There we go. I'm not competitive. Well, I mean, I'm
not.
And
then the one. Yeah. That's not limited belief. You just might not like to be competitive.
No, I'm not. And so but I wouldn't have even thought to set my intention to win. Oh gosh, sorry, to win.
Yeah.
But then there's good traits of that, because I'm really not a competitive person. But then there's also bad traits, because it means that I probably stay in quite a safe zone and I don't push myself. And then it's interesting, isn't it?
I'm not a great listener on top of that. No, we'll be out first round because you're not paying attention, love.
I was out. You even reset the game, and I was out on the first go twice.
But so I just wanted to quickly throw that in. And then I'll move on actually to so I mentioned earlier the triad, so the physiology, so the 3 things. So the physiology is the first thing in terms of changing your state. The second thing was the importance of focus, because what we focus on, we find. basically. And I'm sure we've shared on the podcast before about our RAS, which is our reticular activating system, which is our internal kind of GPS that kind of looks for finds what we're looking for. Sorry. And he explained this story about somebody traveling along this road, and it's just like a open space, really long road. I'm not telling this as well as Tony, am I? Really long road, open space, and every 30 meters or something there's a lamppost. And there was this recurring thing that anyone that had these people have been crashing into these lampposts, hadn't they? Where there was just all this vast space. It's almost impossible to go into the lamppost because there's nothing but a lamppost and just loads of open space. But what had gone through their mind was, oh, I don't want to go into the lamppost. I don't want to go into the lamppost. I don't want to go into the lamppost. And so because their focus is there and their RAS is there, they're looking and thinking and wanting the lamppost, they go hit the lamppost. So focus is so important, and so important to focus on what we want, not what we don't want. So I just wanted to drop that in. Sorry,
just to go back to the Simon Says, that's interesting because that's a live one. What was I focusing on? That I'm not a good listener. So obviously I wasn't listening. I'll openly say I was not really listening.
No. Well,
I wasn't.
We got no chance then.
There was no focus there to go, right, what is this? I'm going to choose the
Yeah.
right outcome. I just switched myself off.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, we focus, we can really easily slip into just, oh, I don't want this. And, focus on the things we don't want. And then we get to the end of the day and we've just got more of it and we're wondering why.
Yeah.
And that's why. So I think getting clear, part of this journey is, if I know we did an incredible program at the start of this year called Dare to Dream. And first part of that is kind of figuring out what you want. Like, what are the dreams? And that's so important. So if you're sat here listening to this and you're not quite sure, it's going into that self-discovery and that self-exploration and kind of just mapping out. We've got an exercise for that, haven't we? Because you can really easily find out what you want by, first of all, looking at what you don't want, because what you want is the opposite. Yeah. So I thought I'd just add that in it. And then the third part to complete that was language, which again, we're deeply passionate on. Like, you've got to mind your language, because what you say to yourself, what you say to others, so internal and external language, the words we use, the inner dialogue, the self-talk, all the different names for it, it's game changing. You change your language, you talk to yourself differently. Kindness, compassion, encouragement, understanding. Do all that.
Everything.
Yeah, you change everything.
And I've massively noticed that. Like, that's been huge in my own journey. And just, I suppose it goes into language as well, but also just, one more point on the focus. Just to use a really extreme example, like the other year I had, and this is where I feel like it was a direct thing, I had a dog theft experience. We were blackmailed and we received a heap of online negativity. A lot of, judgment, awful messages, people just going, why on earth would you do that? And then on the other side, there was positivity. There was people there who were incredible, sending me the most supportive, loving, encouraging messages. We got our dogs home and we managed to get part of the blackmailers work with the police, and they were arrested. So I had these. If my focus had gone here into the bad, into all the negative, that path would have taken me further away from myself and into a real hole.
Yeah.
But I remember, especially with the bad and the good comments, I focused so hard on those good comments, on that support. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I continue to thank my audience for every single kind message that they send me, because actually now that's all I see. That's all I see.
Yes.
And the encouragement and the community spirit that's still there is incredible. And that's just kind of landed with me, that I went so hard on that focus to not go here and go here. And no, that's not easy. And sometimes I would go back. There had been messages over time. There was one particular one that triggered me more than any of the others. And that took some working through, but I did work through it. But that focus, guys, is so important. And that then our language is a bit of a reflection of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this is this power of choice, the power to move our body, the power to choose that focus, and the power to upgrade our language to language that we deserve. Like, we all deserve love and kindness, and we don't give it to ourselves to the level at which we should. Like, it's crazy.
I just want to, I'm going to extend on what you've just said on the focusing, because I think that's just a really powerful way of sharing it. So just focus, because you said focus on, you went all in on the good, focus so hard on the good that you couldn't see the negative. Now that's really powerful. And have a think about this in your own lives, because if it's the opposite for you and you're focused on the negative, all the things you don't have, all the things that are going wrong, all the things that are hard, all the things that are not working out for you, or all the negative, the bad. If you're going hard in on that every day and strengthening that, then no wonder it'll be hard to see the positive, to see the opposite. And we get stuck in that, can't we?
Yeah. And this is like the amount that took. I'm not going to lie here, guys. It took a lot. It took a lot. It took a whole heap of me deciding to go all in on that. Like, it wasn't easy. And I want to really say that. Like, this work is simple, but it isn't easy. However, the way that has transformed my life, because I genuinely feel like, for me, the universe delivered me that to either grow or to go the other way. And the thought of having focused on the other and letting it take me down is, I am just so thankful I didn't. Like, my life would look completely different today. I know it would. Like I say, I'd be a shell of myself. I absolutely would not have launched TAGC had I not shifted that focus into the good, because what would have been the point? That was one of the things I said to myself. What's the point in being a good person? Someone can come into your life and rip it all apart. Guys, there is so much point in you being you. And that is the biggest thing that I've realized, is we all have unique stories, unique values, unique beliefs that are true underneath it all. And just, we all have a passion that is just ready to be ignited. That I believe that the more people we set out on this journey, the better the world gets. Because when we react less and respond more in line with our values, in line with, walking towards our dreams, like, the world is a kinder place. Like, now I walk out and I just see, the smiles. I see the lovely interactions of people. I see the beautiful moments in every day. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes, like I say, it's not all roses and unicorns
and rainbows.
But when that, moment comes up, say, I remember one time I pulled out of my drive and someone came up here, and literally we were so close to each other, the car, I didn't pull out and like in his way at all. But he stuck his fingers up at me. But I was like, wow. Historically, oh my goodness, Charlotte, having gone the other way, would have sat on that for months or weeks, But no, like, I wish you a good day. I hope you managed to let go of that anger today. See you later.
On your way. That's it. And so, it's a pull back to gratitude. So if you are stuck in that negative or not such a good place, and you can't see the good, it's pulling yourself back with, just start with that gratitude, because there's something. You've woken another day, your heart's beating for you.
So and even that, we've had a bit of a transformation ourselves in the membership with all of our members as well, haven't we, on gratitude? Because we can kind of write a gratitude list, and we can, I can say to you, I'm grateful for my family, and until we take it one step further and really feel it, that's where the power is in gratitude. And that's something I've not kind of tapped into before. And it's like that, taking that gratitude one step further, feeling it with all of our being. Like, one thing we have been doing every day, isn't it, is priming ourselves for the day. And that is getting into a state of gratitude. And it's really visualizing those moments, tiny little moments. There was one I had that popped up when we were at Tony, that we were sat watching our girls' summer show, and Dale put his hand on my knee. And like, that was such a moment. And when I took myself back there, it was so loving and so just amazing. And when you put yourself back and experience it again, that's gratitude, and that goes into your day. But yeah, one thing to just say on all of this is the power in doing it in a community and with other people, because if you weren't there, I might have chosen that other option easier. And I will honestly say that, like, you were my shining light. You were my little whisper to go, keep going. Know what to do. Like, you believed in me until I was ready to believe in myself. And God, that makes me quite emotional, but you really did. And like, I have the most incredible friends and family, and I know they support me. But you just saw me in a different light, and you, like, it was almost like you looked into my soul and you could see my magic, because you could see the passion that I had inside. I didn't even need to voice it. And it came from such a real place. And I think you were that for me. And the fact that now we get to be that for others and do it together is an absolute blessing. And guys, you don't have to go on this journey alone. It doesn't have to be, oh my goodness, I've got to go on a healing journey.
No.
I've got to do all that inner work. Like, I've not got time for that. Flip that on its head. Like,
oh yes,
do you want to live more and love more and understand yourself? Like, have such a belief in yourself that you wake up every day excited to see what you're capable of, happy to all those around you. And I'm not saying you're not happy now, but it's this next level happiness, that inner happiness, that you wake up excited for yourself in the morning and you go to sleep really grateful and proud of who you've been in that day. That is available to us all, and it's a journey to get there. But I know that if you are listening to this, and I know we say this a lot, but we believe in you, because if you are listening to this, you've got that light inside, even if it's that little spark, like, you know it's there. And when you've got that little inkling of just that you want to turn that and like let it shine brighter, not let anything stop you anymore, not worry about what others think, worry about feeling awkward, you know, play into your limiting beliefs. Like, you can, and we believe in you, and we are here for you, and you don't have to do it alone. And that is exactly what the TAGC membership is for. So yeah, I really wanted to say that, because even like you commented, didn't you, on the post that I put on of the dancing video, and I just know that like you would be there celebrating that. And historically, like, me putting a video of me dancing on Instagram is something I would have never done.
Oh, be so proud of it. Be so, so proud. And I do believe in you. Well, you just said it. And I had that experience. And this is the giving in life. This is the pay it forward, because I had my Andy. Andy was my man. Andy saw something in me, just like I saw something in you. And he believed in me with unshakable belief until I was ready to have that for myself. And I have that for myself now. And all right, got it. Give it to you, and you've got it now. And now our mission, guys, is to give it to you, because just exactly what Charlotte's just said, we do believe in you. And you're listening to this for a reason. Until you're ready to believe in yourself, you absolutely will. And just the byproduct of that is it's just the confidence. It's there's something in you there's more, isn't there? More confidence, more self-love, more self-belief, more passion, more drive, more time, more energy. And it doesn't have to be a drag. This work doesn't have to be a drag. It gets to be exciting. It gets to be fun.
Yeah, it really does. It really, really does. Like, the times that we have in the membership are times that are just so close to my heart, when we show up, when we open up, and there's no pressure for everybody to open up every single time. Like, it's such a wonderful experience that maybe some people are needing a more quiet day and they just absorb it all. Some people are ready to share, like, but just having that space to be this next level, like you. And that doesn't mean changing, because the beautiful thing that my husband said, he was like, can't remember the exact words, but it was like, you haven't changed, but you've grown.
That's it.
And like, we don't need to be anybody else. I believe it is our only job in this world to be more and more of who we are. And when we do, like, life gets to feel how we want it to feel. Because like I said, all of us just want to live happier, like experience more life, not wait for the holiday, not wait for the weekend and then wish it all away. Like, you know, just not doing the things that light us up inside because it's things we should think we should do. So yeah, we'll leave it there, guys. But yeah, it has been one hell of an experience. And one of the other things that we hold close to our heart is we walk this walk first. And there's a lot going on internally. I think you'd agree, wouldn't you, Kat? That like kind of processing all that we learn and all that, you know, we're not going to come away from that seminar and put every single thing into practice like straight away. But we've personally picked up the things that we need at this moment in time. And we know that all of this is filtering into the club. And as we rise, you're all rising with us. And that is this beautiful movement that we've created to be our authentic selves and to believe in our authentic selves with all of our hearts. So yeah, just sending you all so much love, and go be you and enjoy being yourself. Set yourself free because you deserve it.
No more words. Speak soon, guys.
Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Bye.
Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.